for our manufacturing facility because they have great products, great prices. So let's look at a couple of those. And so we're going to talk about a couple different things: pasta dishes and rice dishes. Those are kind of the main, soups aside, but if you're looking at casseroles, you usually have pasta or rice. So on pasta dishes, you can do a couple things. You can make your own pasta, which we do a lot of our own. Will you get a chair for this lady here?
There's two right here.
Or if you would like to come up here. Sorry about that. I should have saw you earlier. So you can make your own pasta, which works wonderfully, but you really need a pasta machine. If you want to do it by hand, I used to do it by hand. I started getting Popeye arms, and it's like, this isn't for me. But you can get pasta machines like this one for $300. And why would you want a pasta machine? Because you can control the ingredients, and that's why we do it, because pasta should be eggs, flour, and salt, a little bit of water. But if you look at other pasta ingredients, they have things that you can't pronounce, just like every other food we eat. So, and if you're doing gluten-free and you need to control things like that, those pasta machines, and they come with cookbooks, and of course you have the internet, but you can make all kinds of different pastas that are diet friendly. And I have this actual machine at home, and I love it. It's probably the best one, short of going to more of an industrial one. But there's other things, attachments that you can do for pasta. But also, if you wanted to buy pasta, because some of us don't have time, or it's just, I don't have the interest in making pasta. So here, they have in the back a lot of options for gluten-free. So if you need gluten-free options and you like pasta, everything from spaghetti, angel hair pasta, to other things. Also, orzo, they have back there in bulk. I love using orzo pasta. Why would I like orzo pasta? It's small. If you're doing penne, what's the problem with this? Well, there's no problem. There's an expectation problem, right? So it goes back to the question, you got to think about what you're doing. If you use a penne pasta, it's going to take a lot longer to rehydrate. So, for example, for me, if I'm taking, something like this on my motorcycle rides out in the desert, I don't want to wait very long to have lunch. I want to heat up my water, put it in it, and in eight minutes, I'm ready to go. So, because, egg noodles will rehydrate faster than something like this. But if you're making meals to have at home, you don't have a time constraint, right? You can wait 15 minutes. You could pour it in a saute pan and add your hot water and let it rehydrate, give it a little bit longer. So again, your application for that food and where you want it, how fast you want it, determines what ingredients you're going to use. So penne's fine, it just takes a little bit longer. Okay? Any questions on the pasta? Yes.
When you make something with the gluten-free, I don't know if you guys do with yours, do you cook it less before? Because when you rehydrate it, gluten-free is so.
Great question. I should have moved this slide already. So when you're cooking pasta, I like my pasta al dente, which is firm. It's like 98% done. When you're making freeze-dried food, how do you want it? Done plus 5 minutes, right? I like to overcook it just a little bit. Not to where it's rubbery, but it's gotta be 100% done because it'll rehydrate better. If you leave it to where it's still partial, it takes longer to rehydrate and it's a little bit too firm for me. So again, it's gonna be a texture based on what you like, but I like to make sure it's 100% done when I take it out. And then I do put it under cold water to stop the process because that has a chemical reaction. I don't want to say chemical reaction, but by slowing that process down, it firms up the molecules in there, so it gives it its firmer structure even though it's cooked. If you leave it and let it, just leave it in the pan and add sauces and stuff, you'll find that your pasta kind of starts breaking down a little bit. Yes?
Okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, it sounds like making our own pasta at home, the benefit would be the simple ingredients, which is better for the freeze drain.
Yep.
I use boxed pasta gluten-free with protein. So is that now getting too many different things in my pasta? Do you ever do the protein pasta?
Like a protein, it's made with protein powder?
Well, like Braza brand, like you're eating the carbs, but you have protein in it.
Yeah.
Have you found if that works with the freeze drying?
Yeah, it works great.
Okay.
It works great. You have to adjust the cooking process a little bit, and for different pastas. I mean, I could get this pasta, this penne, and another brand, and they look exactly the same, but the ingredients could be a little bit different, which throws off the consistency. So you just have to experiment a little bit on that brand and how you like it. Okay, but always when it's done, and you're going, oh, that's perfect, get it under cold water and stop that cooking process so it doesn't keep breaking down. Okay?
What's that other one called? Smaller one?
Right here? Orzo. Yeah.
ORZO.
ORZO. Yes.
How about tomatoes? I mean, we're just starting to slice them and lightly salt them, and they turn out great. What's the longevity of them?
Well, if you drop the bag, you get twice as many tomatoes.
I don't get that.
Yeah, I mean, they're fragile. And again, how wide are you slicing them, right? So the thicker they are, the better structure they have. If you're putting them in a box and they're protected or in a bin and you're not stacking anything on them, they'll turn out great. What type of tomatoes are you using? Roma tomatoes are meatier. Yeah, so they're gonna hold their structure better and they're gonna rehydrate better. Better Boys and Beefcake and all these bigger ones that are great for hamburgers, they don't rehydrate that well. I mean, they rehydrate well, but you lose the insides, right? Because there's not a lot of structure on the middle. So again, just thinking about what you want to do with them, I find dicing the tomatoes works best in keeping the structure, no matter what type of tomato it is. Okay?
How long they last, though, do you know?
Last?
Shelf life?
All depends on the how you're doing it and where you keep it. I mean, they're acidic, but once you take out all the water, that reaction process all but stops, right? So, I mean, your tomatoes should last 20 plus years, in a Mylar bag. If it's in a bottle and the bottle's protected, it might last even longer. But one thing that I've reiterated before is no one can tell you how long your food's gonna last. We all assume that freeze-dried food is 30 plus years, right? Because that's what the marketing people say. But if I do tomatoes and you do tomatoes and you do tomatoes, there may be vast differences, because when I do tomatoes, and someone rings my doorbell and the cat gets up on the counter and walks across my food and puts stuff from the yard on my food. Sound familiar? Anybody have pets? Or if you have fans in your kitchen that have dust bunnies and they're flying around and you're actually getting hair and dust and stuff in your food, I know, it's gross, but you got to think about this stuff, because if you're trying to package stuff for 30 years and you're getting bacteria, hair, mold, things that are floating around and landing on your food, it's going to be there when you open it, and it could be more, you know. So, you know, I warn people with pets, be sure you try to keep your pets away, because, you know, they could carry stuff, and if they get into your food, things like that. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. All right, so with the pasta dishes, you know, cooking it, evaluating the size and the density. I mean, there's a big difference between the orzo pasta and the penne pasta. And then depending on what you're doing on your recipes, if there's a lot of dairy in it. Now, what you could do on some things, like macaroni and cheese, right? You could freeze dry your pasta separately and then freeze dry your powder, right? Your sauce, and powder it up and put it in a separate bag and either tape them together as a meal, right? It doesn't have to be together. And then 5-10 years, you could replace it, right? And put something else, because your noodles will probably last forever. So there's different things. Same thing with spaghetti. You could do your spaghetti sauce separate than your noodles. If you're gonna do that, and it's just for home use, just store your noodles. Don't even freeze dry them. Unless you're thinking, well, I don't want to have to cook them in case there's no power, no water. I want them ready to go. So you just have to think through all these scenarios and how you're going to implement your food. All right, let's go to the rice dishes. I use Instapots, pressure cookers like this for my rice. There's rice cookers that are not under pressure, and they work pretty well. The Instapot, I use them like crazy for lots of things. Well, I'll get that in a minute. But on the rice, that's what I use, because every now and then, if you boil it, I find that every now and then you'll get a kernel that's just rock hard. And which is okay, but you know, I like my everything done perfectly. So that's why I use Instapots, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio with rice and water. They have around this aisle, they have cases of rice, and so I grabbed some. So something like this, just put it in your Instapot with the same amount of water. So if this is 4 cups. Or 6 cups, 8 cups, 6 cups, then just put 6 cups of water in your Instapot, and in 9 minutes, it'll be cooked perfectly. Now, a lot of rice gets mushy. Has anybody done rice dishes before? Have you had any problems or going,
I haven't, and I like to do them plain too, and then it's like instant rice. But I haven't had any problems.
Yeah. Well, instant rice is freeze-dried rice, right?
Right.
So if you go buy the Uncle Ben's box, it's freeze-dried rice. It's instant because it's already been cooked and the water taken out of it. You can make your own instant rice for home, and I recommend doing that, because with instant rice or freeze-dried rice, just plain rice, you could add a few spices or a little bit of butter and salt and pepper, and boom, you have a very quick meal. What I do to my rice before it goes into the cooker is I rinse it clear. Sometimes it takes about 5 times. Does anybody rinse their rice? Everybody rinse their rice. I like to get the starch out of the rice because starch is basically Elmer's glue, right? I mean, it sticks together. It makes it stick together. When it comes out of the freeze dryer, I like it to fall apart. I don't like to have to break it apart. I like it to be a little bit more pliable and easier to deal with so I can get it in the bag and so forth. And, you know, we all eat too much starch anyway, right? So, you know, a box like this, if you were to freeze dry that, even with some sauces or something, that would make a lot of food storage, a lot of meals for you. So you can get a lot out of it as well. So just these are some of the things that you can look at on Amazon, or if you don't have one. This one here is just a regular rice cooker. I have them. We use them at home just to cook rice to eat, but I don't use it for freeze drying because it doesn't cook the rice enough in my book.
On that, where it said cups at the bottom, is that cups of rice or done
Yeah, capacity.
capacity?
So if you're looking at 8 cups, you can put 8 cups of rice in there with 8 cups of water, and you get,
Yeah, got it.
yeah. These are the ones we use. I mean, we make batches of 60 cups. That'll fill up an extra large machine, one machine. So, all right. So, just quick notes for rice dishes. We talked about most of these. Just, I would use a pressure cooker. I think the rice comes out better, especially if you rinse it really well. And then there's different types of rice too. I went and grabbed 3 years ago. We have a lot of rice in my food storage. And I was at Costco one time and I grabbed 3 bags of rice and put it in my car, got it home. And when I was going through my food storage just this last weekend, I noticed that I had grabbed sushi rice. And my wife's going, why did you buy sushi rice? Because we use long grain rice. And I said, you know, it said rice and I grabbed it and I loved the white bag. You know, I didn't even notice, and we've had it for 3 years. So she goes, well, Costco takes back anything. So I said, okay, well, I'll see what I can do. So I took it back to Costco and I said, I bought these like 3 years ago. And, you know, they're unopened. They were just in the bags. And, well, that's no problem. She scans them up, and I went and got my long grain rice and replaced them. But sushi rice is a short grain rice that really sticks together. So if you're trying to use it for casseroles, and you just want like a rice casserole, don't use sushi rice. And you can rinse it and rinse and rinse it. That'll help it. But I use long grain rice for all of mine. You can use jasmine rice or even brown rice. We do some custom meals with brown rice. I don't like brown rice as well because of the arsenic it has in it.
You go rancid.
What's that? And it won't have the longevity as white rice. And I only use rice grown in the USA. Okay? Okay, who's going to say why? But rice is famous in Asia. Well, have you ever seen the TV shows where they're flooding their fields with the same gross rivers that their cows are in, and their, you know, I mean, factories, and they're washing clothes, and they're flooding their fields with rice. So that's where you get chemicals, impurities, everything that you don't want to eat. Here in the U.S., especially with California rice, and that's where a lot of our rice comes from, they use clean water, fresh water. So no one's washed their clothes in it, maybe a camper, but, you know, mostly it's really clean rice, and the arsenic levels are very, very low. So U.S. rice only. So I want to talk a little bit about, so I'm going to rehydrate this today and give you all a little sample. So this is our homestead chili. What we use for our chili, and I'm going to start firing up some things here. We use bags of beans. So beans are very hard and they have skins. And skins are to keep things together, right? I mean, if you didn't have skin, what would you look like? You'd just fall all over, right? So it's a structure mechanism to hold in moisture. And so same thing with fruits and, all those skins, and we know about blueberries and things with fruit, it's hard to get the moisture out of them. Beans, it's not so bad, but still they have a skin. So whether it's lentils or kidney beans, and we just buy the dry beans. Now you can buy cans of kidney beans and make your own chili or make your own casseroles. That's great. They are pressure cooked in the can, so they freeze dry really well. But the downside is, what's the downside of buying them in a can? What's that?
Stuff that's in with it. So
Yeah, I mean, they put sodium in it and who knows what other ingredients. And you're probably getting a lower quality bean.
Way more expensive.
What's that?
Way more expensive.
And it's expensive, right? So this bag, I can't remember, I think it was maybe $40. But that $40 bag will make probably 200 bags of chili like this. And the ingredients in here are kidney beans, organic grass-fed beef, and spices. That's it. And some beef broth. That's it. So when you eat this, you go, okay, I don't need all those other things, right? All the nitrates and all the things that go along with, and the fillers that they put in them.
Is that the recipe in the book?
No, I just came out with this one. So if you want the recipe, if you have my card, just email me and I'll send you the recipe. I'm not proud. So, I mean, unless you don't like it, then, just say I don't like it. Yes.
So when you do home cooked beans, they're a lot creamier.
Home cooked what?
Beans.
Beans? I don't think so. I think the structure is better.
Oh, I think that when you pressure them at home,
They're creamy.
they're more creamy than canned beans.
I mean,
Especially when you use a pressure cooker like this one. We've tried so many different pressure cookers, and this one makes the best beans ever.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I use the pressure cooker I use, not this one. They sell this one in the back, but they're all the same. But I use an Instapot brand, and I just put 3 pounds of beans to 15 cups of water, and in 40 minutes, it's done. And they're wonderful. And then I just dump all that in big pots, and then we put in our meat and our spices, and we simmer. And then we put it on the tray and put it in the freezer. Very easy process.
Sorry, can you repeat how many cups of beans, water, in minutes?
So for the beans, it's 4.5 cups of water for every pound of bean.
Do you pre-soak them then?
I don't pre-soak them. I take them from the bag here, and we run them through a washing process to make sure that there's no any bad ones, or sometimes you'll get pea gravel in them. So we just make sure, and we go through and make sure they're clean, and then we wash them, and then we just put them right in the pressure cooker.
How long do you usually cook them for in the pressure cooker?
How long?
Yeah.
40 minutes. And then we turn the pressure cooker off let them sit for 30 minutes.
That's the secret if you let them.
Yes, and instead of releasing the pressure on the top, just let it depressurize on its own. Usually takes about 30 minutes, and then they're ready to go.
And do you drain them? Or does that soak up? Do you have to drain them after that?
We've done it both ways. I like actually leaving the water because that's flavor. The first batch we did, we just drained them off. And then I told one of the chefs, I said, why do we do that? Let's because all that's flavor that's come out of the beans. So we don't drain them off. So as long as you don't put too much water, keep to that ratio, 4.5 cups for every pound, it comes out great. Okay? And then when you're preparing other meats, again, consistency. Big chunks of, if you're making a stew, big chunks don't rehydrate quickly. They'll rehydrate, and they'll rehydrate, like if you're making stew with big chunks of beef, I would put that in a skillet or in a pot and then simmer it for a little bit. But if you want something for an outdoor activity or something quick, then I would make it little pieces or grind it into more of a burger consistency and have a stew with burger in it, hamburger instead of chunks of beef. So, there's modifications you can make. You want to come help me with this? Yeah.
Will that pressure cooker over there hold more than 1 pound, more than 1 pound of beans?
Oh yeah, you could probably put 3 or 4 pounds of beans in there.
Wow.
So this one we put 1.5 cups and it's hot. So I like the bags with the zipper seal on the top and that are gusseted because they can stand up. But when I rehydrate things, I like to lay it over because it gives more surface area. I usually knead it a little bit to make sure that there's no hard clumps in it. And then I'll put it on not marble surface or granite because that just zaps the heat, right? So if you look at, this is what it looks like freeze-dried.
It's chewy.
See if I can get the, so it's, it's like, it looks like freeze-dried stuff, right?
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
Sometimes I make a gaggy dinner.
A what?
A gaggy dinner. Something
A gaggy dinner?
Something we don't want to eat the next day.
Okay.
So we just freeze dry it. And we're just hoping it changes the flavor one way. We better freeze dry some ketchup.
So this is what we've started doing on some of our meals. So this is just chili. So if you're in an office and you want to spend $10 for chili, instead of spending $15-16 down at Crown Burger or somewhere, or more, depending on where you go, we've started making more meals. So like for tacos, we'll put 2 tortillas in here with hot sauce and ground beef that's been seasoned in taco mix. So the ground beef is the only thing that's freeze-dried. And then we take little packets of, like for the chili, we'll take little packets of freeze-dried cheese, and we'll put a little packet of freeze-dried cheese in it so you can, if you want the cheese, you can open it up and dump it in. But what that does too is separates the dairy from the chili, so that let's just say 20 years from now and that cheese may have gone bad, just throw the packet away and you haven't wasted the chili.
So what kind of packets do you put in?
Just a little clear.
So it's still a Mylar bag?
Yeah, it goes inside the bag. So it's still protected and vacuum sealed, but it's in its own little vacuum packed bag, just like when you buy a salad and the little croutons come in a little, just like that. So they're little vacuum sealed cheese bags, okay?
So is that a 1 serving, or how many servings is it?
So this is enough for 2 people. Now, I got my size. If I didn't have anything else to eat, I can eat the whole thing. And I usually do, like if we're out doing stuff. But if we have like, some bread, or if we have other snacks, then this is plenty for 2 people. My wife and I will share it, and then we'll open up a bag of asparagus or a bag of strawberries, and we're eating a couple of those. So, all right, as those kind of rehydrate, there we go. So I'm going to, you guys are guinea pigs today. So this was an order I did for a company for an experiment. So we talked about putting chocolate on strawberries, right? And we've all had fresh strawberries with chocolate on it. So these are whole freeze-dried strawberries with chocolate drizzle. So I would like to get your opinion on them and see if the problem is I have sausage fingers, right? So yeah.
Just so I got this straight, in that big rice cooker that holds 60 cups of rice, it's 60 cups of water, 60 cups of rice.
No, that's the end game.
Oh,
So that one, and I don't like, we usually use about 24 cups of rice, long grain rice, because the volume's way different from short grain rice. So in long grain rice, we use about 24 cups of rice to 24 cups of water. All right, so here you go. If you want to just grab one. I'm watching to see who takes the biggest one first.
I want the most chocolate on it.
Yeah, and we're doing the chocolate. We bought a different chocolate drizzle machine, so to put more chocolate on it, but still it kind of gives the flavor. And I have a lot more, so when that's empty, I have another bag. I'm sure we're going to need it.
Freeze-dry these chocolate and put on the chocolate and freeze-dry them again?
Not these.
If you were to dip the whole thing?
So these don't tend to, when they sit out, don't tend to absorb as fast. And that's why I kind of like them, because we don't have to double freeze dry them. The slices, they just, we do it just to make sure that they're, the structure and the consistency is there, because they do absorb pretty fast. How are we doing on? Oh, we might have enough. I got another bag here, so if you want another one, we got it.
Those are really good.
Do you like those?
I like them.
Well, this one's open, so now we got to eat it.
So how long does it take to freeze-dry food?
Now we'll run it backwards so we can.
Yeah, run it backwards so you can pick the big ones first. So someone had a question?
How long does it typically take to do a whole strawberry?
They're about the same. Now, it depends on the size, obviously, and the quantity, but batch times are about the same.
Okay.
So now that you've eaten it, I'm going to tell you where I got them.
What does that mean?
Yeah, everybody's going,
Oh, no.
okay, no. So the sliced strawberries we use, we get here. And they may have, there's some over here, but we get all of ours here as well. These whole strawberries are from Costco frozen food. They're ICF, which means instant quick frozen. IQF, sorry. So if you've been to Costco and you go to the frozen fruit section, there's the 3-pound bag there of strawberries.
Yeah,
That's what these are.
they look a little different.
Yeah, and I use these because one of the customers we have needs strawberries at a consistent price all year round. So IQF strawberries are always available because, you know, they freeze them and they're predictable. So.
I think you have just enough chocolate on there too.
Huh?
I think you have just enough chocolate on there.
I disagree.
You never have enough, right?
I don't like a lot of chocolate.
They should be dunked in chocolate. But when you do something like this, you have to watch your chocolate. You can't have chocolate with water in it. Pure chocolate does not have water in it. So we use Ghirardelli chocolate or Merkins. Other chocolates, like inexpensive chocolate, like you get at Walmart, if you do the drizzling chocolate, the fountain chocolate, the price is different. But if you get the Merkins chocolate off of Amazon, you can get like a 10-pound bag a 5-pound bag. I think it's $60, and it's good chocolate. It's called Merkins. All right.
Why is water a problem? You freeze drying.
What's that?
Why is water a problem? There's water in everything, and the freeze dryer is taking the water out.
Well, it's not a problem if you're freeze drying twice, but if you have chocolate with water in it and you put it on your strawberries will absorb that, and then your strawberries will be mush. So if you want to, like these strawberries, if you want a strawberry that's crunchy, then you use a chocolate with no moisture in it.
Daren,
Yeah.
what form does that chocolate come in? Chocolate chips? What does it look like?
Chocolate syrup.
Chocolate syrup?
No, it's they're little nuggets. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me give that a little bit more time. All right. So let's finish up while that finishes up. So expectation 2 is if you buy vegetables, they're probably blanched. Even if they're frozen, they're probably already blanched. So they're partially cooked, right? Which means they're ready to use in your recipes. Little prep time, instant ready. However, you get what you get, right? Ratios, if you don't like lima beans, you might get lima beans in there. If you don't like corn, it is what it is. If you use fresh vegetables, your nutrition's better. You can pick what you want to put in it, and you can control the ratios. But you know, you have a lot more prep and cooking, and you know, depending on how you do it, it might take a little bit longer to rehydrate because they're a higher quality vegetable. Okay. I'm going to skip rehydration unless anybody has any questions on that. You got a question?
That's actually what keeps me from doing meals, is not really understanding how to rehydrate it without it going soggy.
Just put water in it.
But how do you know that much? That's the problem.
Very easy. The typical rehydration formula from Harvest Right, don't use it. It's too difficult. Unless you're a mathematician, what they say is weigh your trays, keep track of those, frozen going in, and then weigh them coming out. And the difference is your water. So when you weigh a 3-pound tray going in, and it's 1.5 pounds coming out, and the second tray is 2.9 pounds going in, and 1.4 pounds coming out, and you have all these trays that you're trying to keep track of. You see how it's starting to get complicated? And if you don't put that whole tray in a bag and you're now moving trays over and each tray holds 2.5 bags and now you got to account for the overage and the underage, it's horrible. This is how we do it. So, first of all, how do you know how much water comes out of your batch? Because what? Because when you defrost it, all that ice is the water that came out of your food. It ends up in your bucket. So measure the water that ends up in your bucket. Okay? So all of our bags are 4 ounces. So we put 4 ounces of food in every bag. So it's consistent. All you have to do is divide the number of bags in your batch by the cups of water in your bucket. Maybe a slight adjustment because, you know, you can't get all of it out. There's still some humidity and moisture, but almost exactly you'll find. So in a medium, I get about 12 to 13 bags of food, whether it's spaghetti or I get about 12 or 13 bags, 4 ounces. I get about 12 cups of water in the bucket. 12 bags divided by 12 cups of water, easy math. Now the caveat is all your bags are consistent and you're doing the same thing. It's all spaghetti or it's all chili or it's all something. Now, here's a little secret I'll tell you. No matter what casserole you do, whether it's pasta or rice, the ratio is going to be almost identical. That makes sense?
No.
If you do spaghetti, you're going to get in a medium and you fill it to where it needs to be. The amount of water you get out of that is going to be almost identical if you do like a teriyaki rice dish. So, and you only have to do it once, right? Once you do that batch of spaghetti, you know, because your recipe is probably all the same, right? So that batch is going to always be the same. So we only do it once. When we do a new recipe, we only do it once because that determines what we got to do, no matter what. Yeah.
So your different foods have different instructions for hydration. So it's not 1 cup for spaghetti and chicken.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you look at the chicken noodle soup, it's really 3 ounces because getting another ounce of noodles, and we don't want to crush up all of our noodles. So this is 3 ounces for 2 cups of water. Because, you know, soup, right, has a lot more moisture. Chili is 1.5 cups because you still want it to flow, but yet I like it, you know, chunky. If you look at spaghetti, no one likes runny spaghetti unless you like SpaghettiOs. I don't like my spaghetti like SpaghettiOs. So I do, it's 1 cup. Okay? All right, so let me get some of this going. Where's my helper? All right, there she is. All right, so this has only been going a few minutes. Normally, I would like it to go a couple minutes longer, but we're going to, that one's yours. Okay, so let's see, was this my first one? Here's your dip and spoon. I just want to test this again.
So are dairy products the only ones that you add something to, like xanthan gum?
Okay, perfect. 1 sec. So yeah, just need about like that. Okay, and then this one's ready, or will be ready when you're. All right. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
What was the question?
Are products with dairy in them the only thing that you put an additive, like xanthan gum?
Yes.
Okay, and you just put it in the packet when it's already dry, Put the spoon.
Right, when we're putting the oxygen absorber in it, then we'll put the
Yeah.
the xanthan in it. All right, did everybody get a raffle? Let's start that, and we'll start passing around these samples. Did you get one? Anybody else? All right, we're going to have Rebecca come in and do the raffle. Now, we used to charge for these classes, if you remember, some of you. And Sage and Plow said, look, we love our customers, so we would like them to come, and we don't want to charge for the classes. So we would, your support for Sage and Plow, and we featured some of the products. If you're interested in some of these products, they're easy to find, but ask somebody. And let's be sure we support our host, and you really can't get better products than what they have here at better prices. So, all right. That being said, I'm going to turn the time over to Rebecca. What we have for you today, I brought one of my shirts. It hasn't been worn. So when I say one of mine, so it's a Wasatch Freeze Dry. It's a large. It's the only one I got today, but it's they call me Mr. Freeze. So we'll raffle that off. There's 3 bags of the strawberries you just tried, and 2 bags of pasture-raised eggs, 18 count.
Okay.
See, they should do this on Sunday.
Okay, so first off, we'll do the T-shirt. And that will go to Linda Bird.
Oh, right here. Glad
Okay.
I'm going to take 2 because Joan's out in the car for a meeting.
You gotta get his autograph on the t-shirt.
Oh, there you go.
Should have brought my Sharpie.
There you are.
Now remember, we don't add like salt. And it's amazing how much salt will change the flavor. So if you'd like a little salt, we do have some up there.
Okay, next up we'll do one of the strawberries, chocolate-covered strawberries, going to Cynthia Andrus. Okay. There you are.
Right here.
Do you want to do another?
Okay, one of the pasture-raised
No, it's not.
eggs
This is the
going
one that's all the cups I
to
have.
Greg Andrus.
Let me make sure that this is ready.
I was going to ask if you were related, but I guess you're asking too, so.
Yeah. So here you go. Okay, how many more do we need? 2, 4, 6, 8 or so?
Okay, another freeze-dried chocolate strawberry going to Heather Price. Okay. They are so good.
We get some chunks in that one.
Okay, then we'll do the egg going to Carol Houghton. Are you here? Houghton. Okay.
Yeah, I think do a couple more.
There you are. Oh, wait.
All right.
I think I said egg. Do you care? Egg? Okay, go for it then. All right, and the last one is the egg going to Chris S. Okay. All right. Thank you. There you are.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
What's that?
Seth, the photo?
Because I have your book.
No, it's not the recipe in the book. But like I said earlier, if you text me, I'll give you the recipe, this recipe. It is my own recipe. But if you notice, I mean, how were the beans? I mean, the beans were nice, firm, but tender. But we put a lot of meat in it. You know, so many meals nowadays, they skimp, especially with the cost of the meat nowadays. But we try to keep everything like you would want it at home, and that keeps nutrition. So, all right. Well, thank you for coming. You got everything?
I think if anybody would like, so we'd like to grab a picture to put on our social media, kind of tell about how the class went and everything. So if anybody would like to be in the picture, especially those who got prizes, maybe you want to be in the picture holding up your prizes. No pressure, but we'd love to do a picture if anybody wants to join us. So.
Okay, so to text you.
Why don't you get it? Hold up our price.
Oh, you got one? Nice.
Oh,
It was really
it should be on the card right here.
Good,
Also,
good.
if anybody would like to leave us a class review, just text it to us, email it to us, leave it on Google, however you'd like to do it. We'd love to get, class reviews for some of these things too.
Here's
So,
a garbage
thank you.
can.